Omashu. Avatar. Have you seen that yet?
Have I seen what?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, I haven't seen either ever.
You mean the the live action? Is it what you're saying for either?
No, I'm saying either is in any version of Avatar: The Last Airbender. I have seen neither of them.
Okay.
I haven't seen the cartoon or the live action.
That's what I asked.
And that's what I answered.
Okay.
So here we are.
Welcome back to Closing Shift number 13.
Welcome back, lucky number 13. Oh, I'm feeling 22.
That's just over
Sorry.
3 months. We've broken the 3-month barrier.
Oh, yeah.
That really does say a lot about our shows. That it's
proud of us.
I think that's the average lifespan of a Big Wow Big season was about 3.5 months.
That's fair. And yeah, let's start calling up seasons.
Yeah.
Makes it sound less quitty on our part.
It's like Family Guy, where it's like they're just constantly getting canceled and renewed. But it's like, oh no, it's a season.
It's just what happens to TV shows, guys.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't know. Look, you're not entertainers like we are, okay? You wouldn't know.
You don't get the game, okay?
It's time to play the game.
Die! Thy end is now, Crush. Prepare thyself weak.
Paul Triple H Levesque.
Paul should be the next boss in Ultra Kill, right after Minos Prime.
Do you know how to spell Levesque? I'm curious.
It's like Levecque, something like that.
I believe it's that, but instead of a C, it's an S.
S.
There's an S in there.
Yes, a silent S.
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 What the fuck, S? That guy must have named Paul Levesque.
You think I don't put some respect on Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
Yeah. Who doesn't? We're in the Paul Levesque era.
It's a very French name, so how much respect do we want to put that way?
French, you.
Oh,
sticky.
the French. You know, they're just now starting to crack down on French street food vendors storing their food in the sewers overnight.
No, I didn't know this.
It's really cool.
I don't know why I would.
Apparently, everything in Paris, especially the area surrounding the Eiffel Tower, because there's no public bathrooms anywhere, that whole area just reeks of piss. So who wants to go to Paris?
Who wants to go to Paris?
Paris. Aren't they going to, that's where the next thing...
That's where the next PLE Backlash is, the WrestleMania Revenge pay-per-view.
They're doing that in Francais.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's their first time in France, but I also don't know, but I'm pretty sure it is. They've been expanding all over the world to see if things work.
Question. Have you left the country? And if not, where would be the first country you'd want to go to?
No, I haven't, and I've been thinking America.
The first country I want to go to is Texas.
The land of the free. First country I would like to go to is Florida.
I'm going out of the country. I'm flying to Miami.
I am flying out of the country. I'm going to Tulsa.
Yeah, let me vacation in Oklahoma.
Dude, that's where I've been there.
Yeah, I've been through there.
I went to Oklahoma to stay with family until we went to a Kansas City Chiefs game because my uncle's like hot shit at a company that got him tickets to a Kansas City Chiefs game. So we went to stay in Kansas City. I keep saying Kansas. Why am I saying that? Kansas City. And we
ain't no cans, ifs, ands, or buts.
I couldn't stop saying. I guess I was combining it with Chiefs, but yeah, we stayed there. It was a nice experience. I think we rode on like some nice bus too. I don't know why, but the Chiefs game was loud, but it was fun. And that was that was like weirdly enough almost 10 years ago, and I was like 16, which is getting exponentially weirder to acknowledge that like a decade ago I was doing like regular things and not just like shitting in my diapers and like learning to breathe and walk.
It's hard to think about that. Like if I think back to a decade from today all the way back, I'm probably just like doing Link to the Past Let's Plays in my bedroom.
Yeah, I was probably smoking weed around this time 10 years ago. I mean, no, I wasn't. You didn't hear that.
Oh yeah, 420 just passed. That was yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Happy belated 420 to those who celebrate and smoke Mary Jane.
I had the temptation to celebrate myself, but I was like, man, it's too expensive to celebrate that shit.
Let's talk about the weed market.
Let's talk about let's talk about it all.
Let's talk about Weedcoin. It's my favorite crypto. I can give somebody a leaf and they'll give me back a piece of glass. And it's very nice.
Our value keeps going higher. There's like so much shit that it's like, it'd be so much easier to be tempted by it if it was like not, so much money for all that. Cause like, oh boy, here's $40 for a headache.
Yeah.
Seems like a great time.
It's just crazy. Yeah. I mean, like, I know people who spend that kind of money and I'm just like impressed. I mean, cause I get it. I vaped for like 3 years. I understand spending a bunch of money on a thing.
Oh yeah.
You like inhaling. But I got rid of it for many different reasons, and one of them was financial.
Yeah. The few times that I've like been to a smoke shop has always been like right behind somebody in line who's dropping like $1,000 on shit and then driving away with like their bass booming. And it's like, yep, that's like they're probably,
it's like this and like that and like this. It's like that and like this.
You're probably gonna be through that whole supply before you even get home, just on the road.
Yeah. For sure.
Shit's expensive.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was the difference is I got so unused to smoking over the years because I used to smoke a lot more and I was really used to that. And I can still smoke. I'm not like bad at it, but I'm not great at it. But I got so used to vaping because it goes down so much smoother. And what I liked about it was it gave me like the sensation of smoking, but it was smoother. And I liked the fruity flavors because I'm just like that. It was also like $20 and I got one that worked for like 3 weeks. So if you vape, cool, but I quit because it wasn't good for my mental or my money. I wouldn't recommend vaping. If you don't vape, I wouldn't recommend getting into it. It's not like swag to vape. It's just like, like I enjoy, or I understand enjoying the habit.
Yeah.
But as a former vapor being 2.5 months out from vaping, don't do it.
Everybody has their vices, but we can just advise you to try and steer your vice towards something that isn't going to give you popcorn lung.
Right. Here's what you should do instead, is you should go support Mike Klubnika on Steam and buy Buckshot Roulette and play it.
Yes, you got me Backshot Roulette yesterday. You gifted that to me on Steam.
Yeah, I did because I was buying it for myself. Boomer played it on his Twitch stream yesterday and I watched him play it. And then I was like, I had bought it on itch.io already. So I've paid for this game twice on 2 different platforms now. And I do not mind that at all.
It's a great game.
But I bought it on itch.io, but I kind of wanted the Steam achievements. I was like, shit, and it's like $3. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm going to get it. And then you were the only friend that had anything to do with it at all on my Steam. So I was like, I'm just gonna get it for Mia too, because it's like $3.
Yeah, it's so cheap. It's like it makes sense when games like
but
that.
It's so fun. It's so underrated in its replayability.
I'm gonna be streaming it sometime soon, but I've already that's a game that I've already seen other people play, but thankfully it's like, yeah, it's one of those things that you can just like play. It's more about the gameplay than it is like, oh no, Buckshot Roulette's been spoiled for me. You can still just do whatever with it. But like games like that really do have like a sensation about them. These like indie games that pop up these days, especially if they are like at a $5 or below price point, then it is so easy to justify just like get it, play it, enjoy it, even if you only play like 2 rounds of it. It's cheap enough that you won't have a regret about it.
Yeah, it's just fun. Plus the double or nothing mode is like competitive. It's like a whole leaderboard for it now.
Awesome move going from a free demo into a cheap release. Because then it just feels like you're still playing the free demo with like a $3 DLC.
I wish you could do like PvP 1v1s in Buckshot Roulette. I think that would be really fun. Somebody did make like just a completely separate game that's like that, but it came out before Buckshot Roulette came out, at least on Steam. I don't know when it came out on like itch.io, but it's just called Buckshot Multiplayer or something. So I'm pretty sure it's just like a rip.
It's like one of those also, Amazon store, or not Amazon, Android, like Google Play Store rips, or it's like amazing, strange rope hero Buckshot.
Mm-hmm. I know also that there's Roblox rips of it where people just literally ripped the entire game but made it PvP.
Of course.
Which is stupid. I'm not playing those.
Yeah, there's a lot of piracy that happens.
I'm not supporting thieves.
You can steal. It's already like a cheap or free game.
You may steal. You can steal games, but you can't steal my play experience.
Oh yeah, do you get Steam achievements for playing it in Roblox?
I think my favorite character, like type of character to use that voice for, is like a husband that's trying to be super masculine to his wife, in a straight relationship, being like,
All right, baby, get ready for the hammer.
he calls his dick the hammer, is the idea.
Baby, you ready for that smackdown? Totally, baby. I'm about to give you a smackdown raw like Monday nights. Thank you for involving yourself in my wrestling roleplay. I really appreciate your consideration.
Dear WWE, I need you to stop airing Drew McIntyre because every time that my femboy trad wife is wearing a skirt, all I can think of is Drew McIntyre's kilt, and I just want to get in the ring.
Dude, I saw some headline. I don't think Drew McIntyre has signed a new WWE contract yet.
Weird. He's got like a whole thing going on.
And it's just expiring.
It would suck if he left in the middle of...
Bitching and moaning about CM Punk.
Yeah, if he like left in the middle of this heel turn against CM Punk, then that would be crazy.
I don't know. What is catching my eye is that Drew McIntyre is on the thumbnail of this wrestling news video and it says bad news behind him. So I'm like, ugh. What's happening? Is DM Hunk leaving?
I hope he sticks around because I like him. He's one of my favorite wrestlers.
They did release a lot of superstars recently, but I don't think Drew was one of them.
Maybe they're making room for Joe Hendry.
Yeah, hopefully.
He's a big personality, needs a lot of space.
There were rumors that Matt Hardy might be coming back, but he went to TNA, so he is definitely not coming back.
But maybe
right now.
they traded Matt Hardy to TNA for Joe Hendry.
Oh, that'd be crazy. No, they just do the same thing AEW does. Both that's one of the only things those companies have in common. WWE and AEW is they overhire and then they don't know what to do with their talent, so they've released them.
Yeah, just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. At least like it has the chance of like if those people do get some amount of time that they get their name in something and get get that under their belt. But yeah, it is unfortunate that they don't really get a solid position there.
They released Jinder Mahal, the weirdest WWE champion ever, and he calls himself, the modern day Maharaj, or Raja, I think, modern day Maharaja.
Reminds me of
that's what he calls himself.
The Bill Wirtz bit in the history of the entire world, I guess, where he's like the Majapahit, the Mapajahit, Mahapachit, ding 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 ding.
Still. Never seen that video, weirdly enough.
It's a good one. It's so old at this point, though, now thinking about it. It's like at least like 6 years old minimum.
Like so old now. So old.
I can actually use a Bill Wirtz video to try and because I have a very poor time scale in my own head of like when anything happened. Mm-hmm. And so I can actually use like a Bill Wirtz video for a time scale of like when there was something, a significant moment in my life was like I was about to go back to like visit Indiana after we had moved. And the morning that we were leaving out for that flight was the morning that Bill Wirtz released the song, I Want to Go Outside. And I was like, yeah, I do want to go outside. I'm taking a flight today. I'm going on an adventure. And so I can, that's like, it's nice to have like a little timestamp like that.
Yeah, I have some things like that. But most of my major memories are tied to the ridiculous things that were happening in them. Like, for example, the fall of 2021, which was also the fall of my life, where I started being diagnosed and treated for MS and all that started happening. I had to like quit my job and I had to go to the hospital and get my eye fixed because the muscle connecting my brain to my eye died. And they had to infuse a shit ton of steroids into my arms for 5 days, just all over my arms.
Capitan America!
I had to go get 5-hour-long infusions. And the hospital was very nice. I am very fortunate in that I have worked with mostly great doctors. Not all of them were super helpful, but when they were not helpful, they were just not helpful. They were still nice. But right now, I'm super thankful. My mom and I have had years to like do research on getting me in with good doctors and stuff. I love my therapist more than anything. I think I've talked about it on the show before, but she's like my best friend in life right now besides like my actual best friends. Like I've said, she keeps up with my life like an episodic series, and I love it so much because she's just so fun to talk to also. Because even if I talk for like the entire hour-long session or she's like putting a lot of input in, either way, she's like super invested and it's really sweet.
I'm still having trouble with all the doctors out here. There's like, it's so hard to find good doctors in Arizona, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
The majority of doctors that you are going to find in Arizona are going to be in this place called Sun City, which is basically like...
Sun City wasn't me.
Yeah. It's basically just like a gigantic retirement home of a city Like every
nice.
old person lives in Sun City, so every doctor is in Sun City, and all those doctors are specifically for like elder care and stuff like that. They're all for the old people.
Okay, so it's like Graton Beach, Florida. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like trying to find doctors has been not a good time because the information that I've like have through our insurance to like try and like look at lists of doctors in the area is all just painfully outdated. So it's like a wild goose chase just to try and get in contact with any of them. And then the ones that you actually can get in contact with all have reviews on them. They were like, they made me wait for 3 hours and still charged me even though they didn't show up. And it's like, cool, fun. There was just the other day, I had a day that I was like, it was supposed to just be one of my grandma's appointments. It was supposed to just be a quick appointment in the morning and like wouldn't have been more than like a 20-minute appointment. But that doctor ended up being an hour late to his own appointment, which apparently he just does. That's like just how he structures everything, is just being an hour late to his own appointments, which sucks. What? Fuck him. And so I like what was supposed to be 20 minutes of waiting turned into 2 hours. It's insane. Like it sucks out here.
This doctor sucks. He kissed me and he never called back.
Yeah. It's like you either have doctors like that out here, or you have like the doctor that I had before who like when I first went in to get like ADHD and depression medication, the nurse was like doing all the stuff before and asking me all the questions. It was like, Jesus helps. Like, fuck you. Fuck everybody here. I just try to get goddamn medical care.
Jesus better help you after I kick your ass.
Yeah.
You better hope Jesus has a PhD. Wow, I forgot the term PhD for a second.
Better call Jesus after I call this bomb threat.
Jesus? Yeah, there's a reported bomb threat in this hospital.
Yeah.
Sending the Christian police force.
Yeah.
CPD or CPF.
Yo, imagine like an explosives like bomb defusal task force, but they all just like they're like papally, they're like popes, like with the big hats, and they like start splashing holy water on the bomb.
Yeah. Begone, demon, with holy water.
That's been my experience. I've had like a month where I've been just trying to like find a doctor for that, and I still just have had no luck.
That blows. Holy shit. I was talking to a person recently. I will not name who. And honestly, I'm sure you could figure out who. But they used to do OnlyFans. They don't anymore. But I was talking to somebody who used to do OnlyFans, and they told me that they understand the market of buying multiple gallon buckets of lubricant because they did it for work, and they actually wrote it off as a like business purchase. They had bought vats of lube and they were fucking huge, and I wish that we had a visual aspect to the show, because if we did, I would show you all the pictures on some of these lubricant ads, because sometimes there are pictures. I don't know why this is supposed to advertise this thing, but imagine a picture of two people skydiving with a 2-ton vat of lube. That is literally one of the pictures on an Amazon page for that we were looking at yesterday.
That's great.
Yeah, there were also pictures of like women like peeping out of it. Like, hello. Have you ever seen also like videos of like men like pulling entire trucks with just their bodies? There was also one of those, but just with the lube. I just don't get it.
There are people who have to like buy that and then they just go swimming in it. Like dive into it like Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, it's like the episode of Adventure Time where Ice King's like, I'm gonna bury all these secret tapes of mine of like his past, and he's like, under all these boogers. And then it's like Finn is like, I waited for him to leave so I could check out those tapes, but he played in those boogers for hours. So I decided to come back. It's so funny.
It's nasty. What is like the grossest thing that you've ever like tasted in your life?
Probably my own piss.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was on accident.
What did you do? Sucked a dick on accident.
No, I was a kid and I just like was too afraid to go to the bathroom at night, so I pissed in a cup, and then I woke up the next morning thirsty, and then I forgot that I had pissed in a cup, and then I was like, ugh.
Your hubris. I think mine's different. Because the one that I'm thinking of is something that like I just ate it and it made me sick to my stomach more so than like had a disgusting taste. One time driving home from Florida, because my family had just done a Florida vacation like we tended to do, which doesn't make any sense to drive all the way there because we were from Indiana and that's a long drive. But on the way back, we stopped at like this like rest stop touristy trap kind of place and we got some snacks and whatever. And I got these like chocolate covered coconut cakes kind of things. And normally I love chocolate and coconut and all that. That's all great stuff. These, for whatever reason, took one bite of them and I was like, I'm gonna fucking hurl, dude. And like I just had to tuck them away, put them away, and just like ignore it for the entire rest of the drive back. I was like, it's not fucking right, man. It's not fucking right. And I couldn't eat coconut for like the next like 3 years because of that.
Huh.
I don't know why, even like particularly like those things. Like I don't think there's anything like actually wrong with them, but whatever reason I just ate it and I was just like, this is wrong. It's wrong. It's all wrong. I need to stop. I need this out of my body.
Maybe there was something else in them too. I don't know.
It was from a Florida tourist trap shop. I don't know. Maybe they put some gator in it.
So true.
One of the weirdest things to see in like tourist traps in Florida is like these little baby gator heads. Like as like these little souvenirs. Like it's like a baby gator head. It's like, why are you killing so many baby gators? Why are they all babies?
What are they gonna do? Grow up?
Grow up. That's what I say to my dog every time that she's like begging for food. I'm like, you're predictable. Grow up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, just start begging for anything as long as she hears plastic. And it's like, I know that if I get anything that's plastic, even if I'm just getting out a Ziploc bag, then she'll still be like, oh! And I'm like, you need to stop. But I'm not mean with her. These are jokes. In fact, I spoil the shit out of that dog. It's probably why she comes running to every sound of plastic.
Yeah, I'm not a huge dog spoiler, but I do like to like treat my dogs over my life, that is. I only have one right now.
If she's going to be standing next to me for 20 minutes while I'm making my sandwiches in the morning, then it's like, fine, you've earned a slice of turkey.
Yeah, no, usually I'll be like, I'll play like the principal card. I'll be like, you didn't even earn it though. Like, I'm not giving you a treat. Like, you didn't even earn it. Like, if we go out, like if I take her on a walk, because I live in an apartment complex, so I can't just let her out in like the yard. And I wish I could, because if we had a like house in like a sizable yard, she'd be able to run around like crazy because she's a fucking psycho. When I take her on walks, sometimes she like pulls way too hard because she's just like a big muscle. She's like really bad and she'll try to like chase after people and stuff. And I'll be like, no, I'm not giving you a thing. You didn't earn it. You were very bad outside. My sister does the same thing. My sister trained her pretty well. I mean, I think she was pretty disciplined before my sister got her. Because if you don't know, my sister got her before we lived together, and now I live with her. I've known this dog since before I lived with it, but now we both live with her. And I say now as if it hasn't been a year and a half, but I just try to adhere to the same principles that my sister does, but also some of my own because I spend a lot of time dog sitting her.
I think my dog is racist.
What makes you say that, partner?
There's only been like 2 times that I've ever taken her for a walk, which is because every time that I try to take her for a walk, I know that now my siblings have an easier time with her. Like she's gotten better, like leash trained and like with her collar and everything. But at the times that I tried to take her for walks was when she was still trying to slip out of every collar and would successfully slip out of every collar. But like the one time that I did actually successfully walk her, we got about halfway down the street and we passed a couple people and she was like, fine. But then there was a black guy walking towards us and she immediately wanted to run home. Only to him. Like, only after seeing him. Everybody else that we passed was fine.
Yeah, Sammy actually used to do the same thing. Sammy would, like, I don't know why, because he would lose it at, like, everybody. But, like, he'd go ballistic if it was a black person, and I don't know why.
Yeah, maybe it's just because it spends so much time only seeing white people. Like, maybe dogs think that's, like,
true.
only... You know, it's like your average person who grows up in the Midwest. They only see white people, and then they freak out.
Yeah. It's not healthy. You gotta teach your dog to be loving and accepting. That sounds way worse that you just have to like show them like pictures of black people and be like, this is okay. These are also just people.
your homeschool assignment for today is to play Guess
You
Who.
have to homeschool your dog, yeah. Like, Guess
for
Who?
like a tolerance assignment.
It would be cool if Guess Who had like a really good like PC version. I think it would be fun.
Unfortunately, Guess Who is like a completely solved game to the point that there's like banned questions in like competitive play.
Competitive play. Who is competitively playing Guess Who?
Apparently, like, there's like, I guess every game has some kind of...
GWL, Guess Who League. I have been getting so much, mostly unrelated. I have been getting so much Has Been Hotel content on my TikTok For You page. Not from the show, but cosplayers cosplaying characters from Has Been Hotel, and the songs from it being the audios. And then like on my YouTube homepage, I've been getting, like, there was some convention recently and like most of the cast from Has Been Hotel was there. And I watched like a clip or two from it because it was funny. But yeah, the only reason I haven't watched it, to be honest, is because I don't want to pay for Prime Video or Prime at all.
I'll be real. There's nothing in this world I care less about right now than Has Been Hotel. I see that
That's
show,
totally understandable.
and I think to myself, that is so not for me.
Yeah. What makes it so not for you? Not that I'm invalidating that. I'm just curious.
It's one of those shows that if I try to describe why I don't like it and why I don't want to engage with it, it's borderline bullying.
Okay. The only reason I was going to watch it is because me and my sister watch stuff like that together. Like, we just finished recently Adventure Time with Fiona and Cake.
Nice.
Which is like, Adventure Time's like both of our favorite shows ever, so it's like really easy for us to...
Adventure Time DLC.
Adventure Time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to very end of lands. Oh yeah, I just thought about... My shit's really jumping all over the place. I just thought about another random thing. I was thinking of, you know that Game Grumps quote where they're like doing Mario's voice and he's like, "Did you have a veterinarian? Because these pythons are sick."
Yes, yes.
I was thinking of that yesterday because I had like a sleeveless shirt on because it was really hot and I had makeup on and I could like see my arm muscles, and it made me remember that like there's this like TikTok of mine where I also have makeup on and a sleeveless shirt and you can see my arm muscles. And this guy just commented like, "Those arms, oh my God." And I was like, wow. So this guy doesn't want his face squished between women's thighs. He wants them squished between women's biceps, apparently.
Everybody's got their thing. I do sometimes. There's like a thing that I didn't talk about it before, but I meant to mention it last week. But the shower head in a hall bathroom that me and my sister share. It's like our bathroom that the two of us use primarily because everybody else has a different one that's closer to them. So they use those. So this is just kind of basically like the one that we use. Mm-hmm. And the shower head has been replaced in there by my father without anyone asking. And it's now a worse shower head. And I'm very mad about it. But so now it's like we went from like something that had a hose that you could like move around and like, you know, had like a clip that you could put it back on the wall and then like take it off and, wherever, do whatever you wanted with it. And now we just have like, it's just a faucet 8 feet up on a wall is what we have now. Just the shower head is like so much less of a luxury. But now like to adjust that, I have to reach all the way up on the wall and grab it. And it's like the only time that I'm ever having to like reach up like that at anything. And also, like, not having my arms covered. So I reach up at that all the way up on the wall, and I look at my arm, and I'm like, I look like a fucking gibbon. Because it's like my arms, when I have them at my side, they don't look scrawny, of course, because I'm fat. So, they don't look, like, scrawny at all. But then I hold it up towards the wall, and then it's just like, that view is just like, God damn, that is a stick figure. And I'm like, what is this? It happens every time I never have to fully extend my arms for like anything ever. And that's because I have long arms. So the only time that I ever fully stick out my arm and I look at my arm, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can see the outline of my bone when I extend my arm. I just like I'm not. It's funny too, because they'll like simp over my arm muscles or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not muscular. I'm just skinny. Like, I just don't eat enough. Like, that's just the problem. But is what is. I really need one of those shower heads that has like the snake head that you can like pull off, because I haven't had one in a long time, but I had to use my sister's shower for like a month in the fall of 23 because my shower was broken and needed to be repaired, and thankfully it got repaired. But she has one of those shower heads and I really liked using it, and I was like, damn, I need one of these.
Yeah, they are very nice. Like that was that was one of the nicest things about when I moved out here. The shower that I had like at our house in Indiana was, you know, like it is in now, with it just being the head on the wall, which is like, it gets the job done, sure. But I really like when you have the movable head and like you can really like direct where you're shooting that thing, you really feel clean. Like it's very easy to feel clean when you have like like actual control over where you can like wash. And now I've lost that, and I'm mad. I don't have a lot of contamination issues, stuff like that, because I don't know, I have like some stuff that's like, oh, that might be OCD. I don't know if it's like OCD stuff or just sensory stuff from neurodivergence. But there's certain stuff like that where I'm just like, how am I supposed to know if it's done if I don't have control?
I need control. Yeah, I don't know. Very odd move by your dad.
Because, okay, this is the reason why it was changed out, was that the clip that held it onto the wall was broken. So it had to be, like, tied up in a weird way to, like, stay in place. But instead of just replacing the arm that it was on, he replaced the entire fixture.
Yeah.
And I've just been living with that.
Sorry for your loss. I have a regular shower head.
This is the other thing about the shower head, is that it's old, and so like it's not the same flow rate as like what our pipes are and what everything was before. So before it was like a continuous stream, and now it's like because it like doesn't have the same flow rate as the head. It's just a bad time all around.
Yeah, at least my shower head has a rapid fire rate. It's not too like droopy or anything. I just don't want one with the movable arm. I also want to get a better mic boom arm in that sense. That also reminds me of that. Because right now I've got a pretty good setup for it, but it's also very odd. I have it coming over like a monitor from behind my desk, but this isn't like one of those boom arms that's supposed to do that. So if it was like an inch lower, it'd be on top of my monitor touching it. It thankfully can just reach over it just enough to be in front of my face and not touching the monitor, because I switched back to my 3-monitor setup and this desk is just wide enough for that. So I needed to figure out a way to have the boom arm and that. And thankfully this method is good enough. I'm probably not going to try to upgrade it until I need to, because recently I also got I got some wireless SteelSeries headphones I had my eye on for a while because they were on a good sale, but I might return them because I have trouble with like mesh material headphones. Like for some reason they always feel uneven on my head. They feel pretty okay right now, but I had SteelSeries headphones before that were wired and I was like, these are great.
Could you not just get like covers for them? I
maybe could. The reason I'm willing to return them is because there's another pair of headphones that's HyperX that already has like the other kind of like leathery material that I want. And it's a little cheaper, so I could return it and trade it out for those and then just get like some extra money back also. And then I could use those headphones to play Buckshot Roulette by Mike Klebnika, on sale now for like $3.
I wish that I didn't cheap out on my tripod that I have it set up. I'm using that right now. I wish I didn't cheap out on it when I got it, because it doesn't have any like counterweight at the bottom. It has no weight to it. It's like hollow completely. And so I have to have the tripod like propped up against the chair that I'm sitting on here for it to maintain balance when I have the arm extended out holding the microphone. So like it doesn't tip over. It has to have like something to like prop on, or I have to set up the leg in a certain way that it's just like counterbalanced. And it's like, I wish I would have just gotten something that could actually support the weight of a 2-pound microphone without tipping over.
Yeah, no, that sucks ass. I actually am looking right now. There's actually a headset that's literally $100 off. That's really nice that I might actually go trade out for today. It's a Logitech headset. It's let me look at the exact name for anybody who wants to look it up. Oh, cool. Go back to the homepage. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Yeah, just fuck me, right? Okay, yeah, cool, whatever. Yeah, It's called the Logitech G Pro X wireless gaming headset for PC. But damn, that looks nice. Like sheesh. Like this SteelSeries headset is the Arctis Nova 7. It's like $43 off. But that headset's $100 off, and I also have had my eye on that headset. It literally is from $229 to $129.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good deal for how stupid expensive headsets are nowadays. That's a great deal in terms of that.
I live in fear of when I may eventually have to replace the microphone that I'm using, because I have a backup headset. I have like one model different headset that I have as like a backup for the ones that I'm wearing now. Those ones have Bluetooth, so I use them when I'm just like chilling and whatever. And so like they have a very similar sound profile. It's very nice to have that like guaranteed if something breaks, then I don't have to like scramble and get another one. But if I have to replace this microphone, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, man. Because this shit,
fucked.
yeah, it's
I'm
like
straight fucked.
this microphone when I got it was like $80, and if I check the price of it now, it's probably closer to $250. And I don't even know what I would replace it with if I go for a similar model. Like I've had this thing for almost 10 years, and I live in fear that it is going to just shit out at any random moment.
Yeah, I understand that feeling. This was different, but I had a Shure MV7 like $350 microphone, and it just like the micro USB port, and it just like fell into the microphone one day.
Yeah.
And then it broke, and I lost the $350 microphone.
That's a big issue with micro USB. Because I have that issue with, I have a little humidifier. I had one that I got for Christmas. I have the same model of it now, but I had one that I got for Christmas that I let my sister borrow. And of course, like the one time that like I let her borrow it is the one time that it immediately craps out and the micro USB falls into the thing. And she felt bad about it and replaced it. But it's like, damn, that is just such a problem with like this specific port.
Right. Micro USB is very rightfully so being slowly but surely shit out of the market. People are using USB-C a lot more now.
God bless USB-C. I love it. I love that I have a USB-C port in the back of my computer, that I have this like, I don't even know how long it is, at least 10 feet long USB-C cable that I got it's the Oculus Link cable. I got it when I got that whole suite of bullshit. And that's been like nice for everything that I need to use that is USB-C. I can just switch out what is plugged into the end of that. If I want to use a controller, just plug it into the USB-C. If I'm using the Switch Pro controller, that's USB-C. If I, like in my current setup that I'm sitting in right now, my Stream Deck, I'm all the way over like halfway across the room, but like I just have that cable that I can just still have my Stream Deck, plug it into that, bring it all the way over. It's an incredible luxury to have for this just to all be the same cable.
It is quite nice.
Then we're gonna have wireless electricity because Nikola Tesla, he's like working on that or something. I don't know.
Yeah, pretty soon we're gonna have wireless breathing. It's gonna be pretty lit.
Bluetooth breathing. You know, that is probably like not even the most absurd thing, the most absurd possibility to happen in like the future. Basically having some form of inhaler that you could just have built into your lungs. That's like you just plug it into like a port every now and then to refill it, and it just like seeds oxygen into your blood.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't even have to breathe.
My intestines have water cooling. It's pretty good. Keeps them running smooth.
You know, kind of true though.
So it's just fun to imagine people are built like gaming PCs.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but my imagination has the 4090, so I'm like imagining shit at a really high frame rate right now. My imagination's at like ultra settings right now.
I gotta watch this baseball game, so let me kick my vision up to 144 hertz.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be lit. It actually overpowers my TV's frame rate, refresh rate, so it's actually pretty cool.
I cannot believe even still in this day and age that there are people who say that you cannot see more than 20 frames per second.
I would have absolutely no idea. I've never argued the frame rate of which people see things.
It's always been like this, this long-standing debate when, like, back when 60 FPS first became a thing, people were like, "Oh, you can't even tell the difference between 30 and 60." And of course,
yes,
you can. But now that debate has moved up to, "Oh, you can't tell the difference between 60 and 144." And yes, you can.
I can't tell the difference between you and this shit I took in my toilet.
Yeah, and you can't tell the difference between what you heard somebody say on Reddit 10 years ago and what is actual human biology. That's the thing. They always try and say that it's like a biology related thing as opposed to the fact that you can see it with your eyes.
Your mom is a biology thing, bitch.
Yeah.
Zinger. Another banger your mom joke from Emmy from Cosmic Emerald and Big Wow Big and Closing Shift.
Joe Mama!
And TMTL and Zoom SMP and TV SMP and TV SMP2.
You know something funny? There's so many voice actors in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth that you can legitimately, at some point playing both of those games, hear Brock Baker in Final Fantasy VII.
Who is that?
And also Aaron Hansen. Well, Brock Baker's the one who did the Yo Mama!
I thought you said Brock Baker. B-R-U-C-K.
Brock.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, you can hear him, you can hear Aaron Hansen. There's just that was the joke when
Nice.
Final Fantasy VII Remake came out, was that like all of California was employed for this game. And it's even more true for Rebirth, because I'm still getting through that. But that game has 400 songs in it. And every single NPC is voice acted. It's insane.
It's insane.
Who can believe it? I gotta say, it's one of my favorite voice actors at the moment right now is the voice of Barrett in Remake and Rebirth. John Bentley is his name. And like, I didn't know the name before, but he gives an incredible performance in both games. And now, like, that's gonna be a household name for me, like, going forward. If I hear John Bentley, I'm gonna, like, pay attention. Because it's been
Heard that name before, I think.
It's been incredible. Like, the only thing that I would have heard him in before is that he voices some super mutants in Fallout New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's a completely different level that, like, he just, whatever voice acting awards come up, whatever game awards, everything, he deserves, like, every nomination for it. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the guy. And I think the VA for Aerith streams, and so does the VA for Roche. So that's fun to, like, get some, like, even the VA for Roche, like, goes into comments of other Final Fantasy VII content, is like, please give John Bentley his due credits, nominate him. It's like, even the other VAs are just like, give this man his awards.
When this shit's said and done, is a dead fucking Roche in a city that we want. I just popped a beanie, watch my eyes grow. I'm a stone face killer like my motherfucking house is.
Final Fantasy VII has been, like, my primary interest for, like, the past month and a half. Like, binged through Remake and now binging through Rebirth. And it's one of those things that, like, I can't help but engage with it, but I'm not done with it, so I can't seek out online spaces of discussion about it. But also, like, basically nobody that I know is at all interested in it either. So it's just like, well, I guess I'll just keep watching.
I guess I'll just go fuck myself.
I'll just keep this to myself.
Yeah, I feel that. I've been one-sided on other people talking about, like, an entire group talking around me about something I don't know about or don't care about. And I've also talked about things that nobody in the entire room knows about or cares about. And my message to all those people is, I am so sad because of all of you. You've all ruined my life.
Yeah, why don't you just like all the things that I like?
Full stop. I used to be like that. I used to be really greedy, that, like, I would get really upset because I felt left out. But it just, it's like a trauma thing. Like, I used to literally get left out and, like, told, like, you're annoying, we don't want to hang out with you, fuck you, when I was just trying my best instead of anybody giving me a second chance. Like, as a kid, there were way too many experiences I had of, like, feeling forced to have somebody hang out with me because my mom, like, talked to their parents about them being a giant wad to me, and I just wanted to hang out with, like, my friends, bro. And thankfully I had some childhood friends that were cool, but a lot of them just, like, grew up to be divas. And I remember, like, I had a childhood friend who, like, it was my childhood friend who got me into wrestling in the first place, and I used to go over to his place to watch Friday Night SmackDown every Friday. And it was funny, too, because for the longest time, side note, I didn't know Raw existed because we only watched SmackDown. And I'm thankful for who was on SmackDown at the time, because that introduced me to, like, Batista, CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, Teddy Long, and plenty of others. Mm-hmm. But I remember that friend, when I was 16, just like randomly messaged me on like Instagram or something on around the time of like Thanksgiving and was like, hey man, I just wanted to like let you know that like I'm really sorry for how much like of a dick we were when we were kids, that like we all like just like shit on you for no reason. Like, just wanted to say I'm really thankful for the memories we have, and I'd be down to hang out again soon. I was like, dude, of course, thank you for apologizing. You didn't have to, but I mean, like, I get it, we were just kids, but like, thank you. It means a lot, because it really showed that like my childhood meant something to somebody else. Because we were like neighborhood friends, so we would like go to the pool all the time, and we would do other things. I think he literally plays like college soccer now or something. Or actually, he's way out of college, so probably like if he plays soccer, it's like somewhat professional.
Or he's at McDonald's.
Or he's working at Burger King, spitting in your onion rings.
What's that from?
That's from The Real Slim Shady, baby.
So I'm not well versed on a lot of that.
I'll be working at the Burger King, spitting on your onion rings, circling the parking lot, screaming, I don't give a fuck when this window's down and the system up.
There's so many references and so many things that I wish that I was more up like with, because I'll watch creators and I'll talk to other people that like they'll be up on these things, and I'll be like, man, I wish I understood these references. I wish that I was like into this scene and like could engage in this topic. But like if I'm watching a creator and thinking that, I'm like, oh yeah, no fucking wonder I'm not like caught up on this scene that they're talking about, because in my free time I'm watching them talk about it, and in their free time they're watching that. So unless I stop watching them to watch that, of course I'm not going to catch up on it.
Yeah.
It's not like they're watching their own content and also keeping up with that shit. They're keeping up with that shit and making their own shit.
Right. That's a huge part of what I was talking about earlier. People would just make references or be like, oh, I love this part of this movie. It's like a 20-year-old movie, but I'm like, I haven't seen it. Like, I cannot tell you how many times, just because of my memory, it's happened so many times, people are like, you haven't seen this movie? And I'm like, no. I just wasn't shown normal movies when I was a kid. I watched like the same shows all the time.
There was a thing recently at maybe it was the Oscars. I think a lot of actors were a lot of actors were being asked what like their favorite childhood movies were, and somebody said like their favorite movie as a child was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is like an old Western. And like it was like they had watched it, I guess, but like their grandparent had like shown it to them. And people were like, oh, that's such a pretentious answer. All these fucking film school kids, all these Hollywood elite, of course they have these pretentious favorite childhood movies.
Whoa,
like are you gonna
why are you mad? Relax.
But like the biggest thing is I was like, why are you going to call something like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly just this old movie that anybody can watch at any time? That's just a good movie. That like, of course it would make sense that like somebody could have shown you that at any point. How is that pretentious? like it's imagine if somebody says their favorite movie is Blade Runner and you're like, oh, here we fucking go. It's like, it's a popular movie.
Such a basic bitch answer.
Like they're acting like it's some art house shit that like nobody's heard of. Like, oh, my favorite movie as a child was Je ne Bleu.
Oh wow, look who grew up in the park.
It's like, no, it's fucking Clint Eastwood.
Like, y'all sound so stupid. Y'all literally sound like babies. You sound like babies. Wah, cry. Mommy, change my diaper. That's what you guys sound like. I just don't... Like, sometimes people... There's this TikTok audio that reminds me of where he's like, what's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor? He's like, well, obviously, it's the strawberry one.
Yes, the basement yard.
And the other guy's like, that's such a basic bitch answer. And then he's like, you want to really answer, Joey? The 2002 Spider-Man tie-in merch Pop-Tarts that came out for the Spider-Man movie. And he's like... It's like 5 seconds of silence. And he's like, look it up.
And he's like, oh yeah, let me guess what your favorite is. Fucking apple unfrosted.
I think I remember those Spider-Man tie-in Pop-Tarts. I really wish I could get my hands on them now, because that sounds awesome.
I don't know. I think about stuff like that, and I just get like a chemical taste in my mouth. Because the last like tie-in Pop-Tart I would have had was they did like a thing with Fruit of the Loop. Yes.
Fruit of the Loop.
With Fruit Loops.
Yes, this Pop-Tart is very underwear.
Yes. But they did like a tie-in with Fruit Loops, and I had one, and I was like, that just, it like sizzles my tongue.
Yeah, well, that sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot too much flavor.
It was just like pure chemicals. I don't even know. It felt like pool cleaner.
My favorite Pop-Tart collab was when they collabed with Marlboro. It was very tasty. Yeah. It was like chewing tobacco powder.
Imagine like like cracking open a case of Marlboros and it's just little Pop-Tart minis.
Yeah, that's how they packaged the mini Pop-Tart collab.
God, that'd be so funny if there was just like a food like that just came in like a cigarette box.
Holy shit, actually, a movie I would recommend is an indie film that Boomer showed us all. That's actually hilarious. It's called Hundreds of Beavers, and it's so stupid, but it's fucking hilarious. I thought it was going to be like a 30 or 40 minute short film, but it's like an hour and 48 minutes, and it's really funny. It's like a black and white silent film, but it's basically just this guy like hunting animals, but he just sucks at it, and I could not give you like a good description of the plot, but
I think I've heard of it.
It's really funny, and I would recommend anybody watches Hundreds of Beavers. It's very worth the watch. Like, we watched the whole thing in the friend Discord, and I'm happier to have hundreds of beavers in my life now. Oh yeah, we actually watched it on a couple days ago on the 19th because Bo started 420 early and he got really high, and Boomer was like, I got the perfect thing for you, and we watched Hundreds of Beavers, and it was fucking hilarious.
Go watch Hundreds of Beavers and then go play Squirrel Stapler. And I think that's like the best like back-to-back double feature. Squirrel Stapler is a game made by the same, I don't know if it's the same guy, but it's like the same, I think it's the same guy who made Iron Lung, David Zemansky. Because I know that there's like a group of like brothers that like make all kinds of stuff, and like a couple of the brothers made stuff like Iron Lung, and like other brothers made...
we're the gaming brothers. Buy our game.
Yeah, it's like one of them made Iron Lung, and like a couple of them made My Friendly Neighborhood. It's like a whole powerhouse like family dynamic here. But it's like there's a great game called Squirrel Stapler that it's a short game, and it's hard to describe without spoiling what makes it so special. But basically, you're a hunter who needs to go shoot squirrels and bring them back to your house to staple them to your dead wife. I can't adequately describe what makes the game so special or why it's worth playing. It's one of those things that like, it's short enough that you should just go experience it for yourself, and cheap enough that you could, like, if you don't want to like watch somebody else do it. It's a really special experience, and I'd recommend it.
Interesting. Yeah, I will say, rounding back around to the rounds, I can't wait to whenever you stream Buckshot Roulette. I really like watching my friends play it because it's really funny. It's just because it's an entertaining game. Like, Markiplier was the first person I ever saw play it, and I bought it like almost immediately. I'm glad I supported it twice, to be honest, because I'd buy it again. Like, its replayability, in my opinion, is like underrated. Like, it's
well, yeah, it's a game of chance.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like a strategy game that has chance, and it's just like so smart and so different. I've only ever played games like this that are usually like card battlers, but it's so interesting. The
way that it's replayable is only ever equivalent to stuff like Balatro. That's just like, of course, there's a level of RNG and luck to it alongside skill that makes it very, very replayable.
Yeah, because sometimes you just get fucked.
I'll probably be playing it this Wednesday. I'll probably put it in a midweek madness, which I don't do every week because it's hard to find games to curate when you don't have like, there's other creators that I see, they do like variety sections and stuff like similar to the midweek madness that I do, that Wednesday variety section. And the difference between me and them is that they usually have like a couple people who organize those collections for them and like vet everything, and I don't have that, so it's a lot harder to like get it. So I can't do that every week. But when I have something special like Buckshot Roulette, then I can put together a little program.
Yeah, I have I very much categorize my Steam library. Like, I have games in a category called replayability, and then I have like casual playthroughs, multiplayer. I have a category called shitters, which I have expressed before. That's stuff like Three Finger Battle Arena, Crab Game, Keep Talking, Nobody Explodes, Content Warning. Still haven't played Content Warning. Paid money for it after like the free day. Still haven't played it because I said, like, in the friend server, I was like, if I buy this, will people play it? And they said yes, and we didn't. But if I'm sure if I asked somebody, like especially Mike, then he would.
It's one of those games that you get like terrified of wearing out too quickly.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what happened with Lethal Company for me. But the difference between that and Lethal Company was that our friends were just like, and this is not shade to our friends, obviously. They were just doing this for fun. And it was fun at first. But for me, what got washed out was they were just like modding the shit out of the game because of all the mods that were available for it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it became not Lethal Company anymore. And I was like, this is kind of boring. Like, I just wanted to play Lethal Company itself. I still would give Lethal Company like another shot because I only got to play it for real like a couple times, and I suck ass at it.
It's worth it to go back to it now. It just got version 50, adds some pretty cool stuff. It adds like a couple new moons and like some new like traps and enemies. And I was playing it for a couple hours yesterday with Honks and all of his friends, all that, because he was doing a 2-year streamer anniversary, which, fun fact, on Twitch, you can just set your...
Congrats to Honks.
You can set on Twitch your, like, anniversary date for your stream to any date that you want, by the way. So, you can just be like, it can just be whenever. You can just decide, like, you want to get everybody together and want an excuse? Oh, my thing is coming up tomorrow. I definitely didn't just set it to that. And I'm not making any accusations to Honks, but that's a thing that you can do.
I'm not making any accusations to Honk.
Look, I'm not saying to kill my wife. I'm just saying you can...
If I could trace back to the moment I got started, it would definitely be when you fucked my wife.
That's a classic bit. I love that. You fuck my wife?
You fuck my wife?
You definitely fuck my wife. Don't get me started. I dropped my mouse.
Also, this past week, on April 17th, they announced it, but congrats to Buckshot Roulette also on reaching 1 million Steam sales.
Oh, nice. Just like Balatro.
They put, reached 1 million sales. Double or nothing? And then they were like, last week we half-jokingly said that we're choosing to double our sales at Buckshot Roulette, and thanks to your dearly cherished support, it has become a reality.
I think they're independently published too, so they're just going to be raking that in.
They also, which is great, they deserve it. But also, if you go to, what's funny too is if you go to the announcement for that, you can click 2 different links to get a Buckshot Roulette like art wallpaper engine wallpaper, and
nice.
then another one that is like an alternate title screen for it, and it's actually pretty cool. If that guy that sits across from you wasn't so ugly, I'd keep it, but I don't want to turn my computer on and then be like, oh, I'm being aimed at with a shotgun.
That's all I can think about when I see the new enemy added into version 50 of Lethal Company. He looks so much like, when you look at him in the dark, he looks so much like the dealer from Buckshot Roulette, and I can't not see it. We're really in a boom of indie games right now, because Lethal Company popped off. What's the other thing that Landfall, the other game? Content warning. Like, that's popping off. Balatro sold over 1 million, and now Buckshot Roulette sold 1 million. It's really just a good time for indie games, and we just got the announcement for Slay the Spire 2, which is
I did see that.
Insane. I'm so excited for
Slay
that.
the Spire 2 is crazy.
Dead Cells and Risk of Rain 2, which I know that like
Dead
that's
Cells
not
is
really
fire.
Dead Cells is kind of indie, but Risk of Rain isn't. It used to be, I think, but like that, those two are getting a crossover update sometime in the near future.
We Happy Few.
We Happy. Everybody loves We Happy Few.
Yeah, if you want a terrible experience, it's on sale right now. Actually, I don't know if it's going to be on sale at the end of the week.
Papier Mâché.
Will it be on sale at the end of the week?
That game is a perfect example of why not everything needs to be open world and crafting.
It doesn't say. I don't know. It's not a good game, though.
No. Man, so many games are so bloated by crafting these days.
Another good indie game, Fortnite, doing very well right now.
If you can't handle the 90 gigabyte Fortnite file, you don't deserve to play it.
I've been mostly revolving around the rocket racing mode because I actually really like the movement in it. It's very fun. It's unfortunate that mode is like one of the only ones that never has above 10,000 players.
Yeah, we really are in a golden age of gaming right now. It's hard to see it through all the microtransactions and $70 price tags.
But yeah, for the indie thing, for sure. That's what's so great about... I love when these indie games get like Steam releases because I'm like, fuck yeah, because they'll add like the achievements and stuff and other things. What's great about Buckshot Roulette is on Steam, they added a leaderboard. So when you're in the main part of the game, which is like the bathroom before you take the double or nothing pills.
Yeah.
They added like a just like little TV in there, and if you go over to it, you can look at like a leaderboard, and you can look at a leaderboard for double or nothing mode against your friends. And Boomer got over $1 million on his first stream of it,
nice.
which takes a while for the record. But I want to try to beat that, so I'm gonna use that as an excuse to play Buckshot Roulette more.
Yeah, I think to get 1 million points, that's like 4 consecutive wins.
Yeah, He played a lot of it. The last thing he did on his stream was just like a achievement hunt a little bit. I also wouldn't mind doing that.
That's a good thing to do in any kind of very replayable game like that. Helps you keep from getting burnt out as achievement hunting.
Right. Actually, I'm curious. I think the only achievement, speaking of that, in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe I don't have is the one that's like, don't play it for 10 years.
Yeah.
No, I'm missing 2. I don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years. Oh, and then play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. That's right. And I last played it on February 13th, apparently, this year. So gotta wait until at least February 13th, 2034. And then I'll get that achievement finally.
A good April Fool's Day prank to play on your friends. Just every April Fool's Day, hop on their computer and launch Stanley Parable for them just for a minute.
just fuck them out of their achievement. But don't tell them.
That would be the Stanley Parable equivalent of telling somebody you lost the game.
You lost the game? What?
You know about the game?
No.
Wow, really?
What game?
So the game is a thing that was concepted like 20 years ago or something. The game is like a meta game, and the whole point of it is that the way that you like play the game, or like there's no winning the game. The only way that you play the game is by not thinking about it. And so the longer that you go without thinking about the game is like kind of a score. So if you can go like 3 years without thinking about the game, then you're like, but you lasted like 3 years, and then like the timer resets from that point. So it's like it's like a fun sort of troll thing that you can do. It's like sometimes people just leave it in comment sections, or they'll make a video of it. It's not as big of a thing as it used to be, like probably closer to 8 years ago. It had a real big boom. But like that's the whole point of it, is that it's a meta game that you play by not thinking about it, and you make somebody else lose by making them think about the game, or if something just like, maybe it just randomly pops into your mind after like 10 years, and then you're like, fuck! Yeah. It's just kind of one of those fun things.
I've never heard of this.
It's great. And now that you know about it, you are now playing it.
Well, I guess.
Because everybody just, as long as you know about it, it's just one of those mind virus things. As long as you know about it, you're technically playing it.
Well, I'll let you know that it probably will not be hard for me to win. My memory sucks.
Yeah. But it's, sorry to everybody that I just broke your streak, but it is just one of those fun things.
Yeah, if we broke your streak, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, better luck next time. Try it, play again. It does feel good, though. It feels terrible, and it feels good when you last for like a year without hearing about it, or even longer. And then when it finally breaks, it's a very deep satisfaction of how long you went and how high of a score you got out of that, but also pure fury that it was over.
Yeah.
It's like a game that you can only know your score after you've lost. And that adds a very fun aspect of it. I think that is a decent enough stopping point. We can let these people start playing the game on their own.
Yeah.
And we definitely won't mention it at any other point during this podcast. So as long as you listen, every Friday, as long as you listen to this podcast and no other podcasts, you will not have your game ruined. And that is a promise.
A solid promise.
A liquid promise.
A gaseous promise.
Liquid. All right.
Well, then I guess we're signing off, yeah?
Yeah. Bye.
Well, then we'll see you next week. Peace out.